Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. You know what? You know how weird things will just hit you? And you just don't really know what's going on? Yeah, like right now. I had all sorts of things in my head on stuff that I wanted to talk about, and I just put my hands together like this right after I pushed the record button, and I have my ring on. Oh my gosh, I feel totally naked. Wow. Those of you that are married or what have you, or normally use a ring and keep a ring on at all times, when you don't have that on, you freak out. I know where it's at. It's okay. I kind of jammed my finger earlier. It's fine, but took the ring off because I didn't know if there was going to be any swelling. No, there's no swelling. See, I'm fine. It's whatever. But I didn't put it back on. Now I'm kind of freaked out. It's okay. I'll get it. But that's not why you're here. You're here. Tangent. Sorry. It was just, whoa, where's my ring? We're talking about yarn. I mean, hello, background, right? If you're new here, hi, I'm Shannon. This is my channel. I talk about stuff. I do. Yarn and knitting and crocheting and making things and procrastinating about things and dreaming of other things. No joke, dreaming about all sorts of things. I tell you, yarn and creating has just been such a part of my life since really 10 years old, since being a little girl. My mom really taught me, and I really got into crocheting, really crocheting at that point, knitting for about 25 years, although I've been saying 25 years for a while now, so I'm really not sure how many years I've really been knitting, but really that's it. I mean, just the creative that you can do with either one, both of them, add them together is just amazing. So I was watching other podcasts because that's what I do. I mean, right? I'm always looking at the different knitting and crocheting podcasts and listening to people. And I was listening to Erin from Crafting Kitty, and she was looking at her projects. Erin, I feel you, girl. Man, I feel you. She was looking at her projects and she's like, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, she's like I am. She's got one or two whips laying around, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at? Right? We're not counting. Oh, no, we are not counting. But she may or may not have a few things on her needles and hooks that are just kind of languishing, right? I feel you. I'm right there with you. So she was commenting about, not really knowing what to work on. And when I get like that, I just start something new, which I've been dubbed, thank you, I will wear that with honor, as the Queen of Whips. I mean, I'm good with that. But she was talking about that, and it hit me. I felt it. I could feel it through the camera, through the phone. I don't know what she records on, but whatever it was, I could feel it. And she landed on, well, I'll make a sweater for my husband, Brian, her wonderful husband. She made a sweater previously from the neighborhood, Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers. Oh my gosh. She did. So she made the first sweater for her, a sweater for him with that. And she's looking at making another sweater. And it got me thinking, I'm like, I have sweaters. And if I try to make a new sweater, I'll be found out because my husband watches my channel. So if I start to make a new sweater and I show it, I'll be caught. So I can't do that, right? But do we recognize this? Do we know what this is? Do we know what this yarn is? Do we know what this gorgeous yarn is? Oh my gosh. This is Arcane Fibre Works. If you don't know who Arcane Fibre Works is, the creative genius behind this, his name is Tyler, and he is amazing. So this is the Saint Nick colorway. Look at that, Santa Claus. It's a Saint Nick colorway. This is worsted weight yarn because I'm making a sweater for my husband. Not in fingering weight. That man's a big man. I'm a big girl. That man's a big man. I mean, it takes a big man to be with a big girl. I'm just saying. So, this is Saint Nick. It's worsted weight, Erin. 100% superwash merino, 181 yards, 166 meters. For the 100 grams, you can knit with it at 16 to 20 stitches over 4 inches. Recommended needle size 7 to 9s. I'm using an 8. Crocheting gauge would be 11 to 14 stitches over that same 4 inches. Recommended hook size, an I to a K. There you go. So I have 2 skeins left. I am working on it. I grabbed it again. It has been languishing. My husband would tell you that. It's been languishing for a while. And when I do show it, it's in the different pieces. And every time I grab it, I tangle the yarn ends horribly is a good way to put it. So I did go ahead and it's sitting right here. See this ball right here? That has been well used because it was a full cake and that would have been a lot bigger, right? So I've used about half of it. So I've really worked with it. I had to untangle what I had going on. Oh my gosh, it was such a mess. I had the sleeves, about that much I didn't have, right? I had the majority of both sleeves done and the body, and I had to untangle the mess and put it all together and try to add new needles. And it took a little bit longer than it should have. Just not gonna lie, it definitely did. Oh, yeah, I should show you that, but I should show you the book. Yeah, one thing at a time. I don't know, I'm just going a little off crazy. So this is the book that I'm using. Yeah, Viking Knits. I got this at Joann one day, and I mean, with that cover and everything, I mean, the eye candy is just spectacular. He's a good looking man. He's well built. He's got lots of pictures of him in here. And it's my second sweater I'm making out of this book. It is. The first one I made for my husband was the Papa sweater, quite fitting because, you know, he's grandpa. He's a papa. That's what we really call him. And now I'm making the Norse sweater. And why I can find the page for it, but not the... That's the wrong one. I don't know. But, okay, fine. All right. It doesn't want to open to the right page. It's just... I had the marker, and I pulled it out, which was kind of silly. So I'm just going to show you the sweater. You'll be able to see that. And then I can show you a little more on the book. The book's been really nice. I have done a couple things, like I said, out of it. Really enjoying that. All right. I was trying to show this and put it on my husband earlier to figure out if I made the sleeves and everything the right length. But that was like the Three Stooges and there's only two of us. So we didn't get too far with it. I have no idea. I'm going with it. I'm like... I'm hoping the sleeves, I've made them long enough. If not, I'm going to have to do surgery at the end. I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Turn this here. It's a big mess. It's on its little cable-y needles. Okay. So I have attached sleeves. You're like, that looks wonky. I know. This is where the photography skills would really be amazing. I don't have them, but it'd be really cool. In my head, it's pretty awesome. So here's the body. And you can see I've got the sleeves attached, but I don't have a lot of rows on the sleeves yet. See, here they are attached. You got that big gaping underarm there. I will sew that together. He will not be air conditioned. It's okay. And you can see right here, I just have it attached by just a few rows. So it's, you know, pretty unwieldy, a little wonky at the moment. But every other round, I reduce 8 stitches at the raglans, right? On each side. 2 stitches for each of the 4 corners. So I get to do that. So every round it's getting a little faster. Not that much, but it's okay. And the cable, it took me a bit. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would be just easy to pop right back into it and figure it out. Kind of had to stare at it a little bit. I got it though. I think it's okay. But this is wonky. This is not a good level. All right. So we've got this cable on the sleeve. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And that is on the both sleeves right there. And it's a form-fitted down to the cuff. We've tried it on him multiple times. He says it's fine. If it's not fine afterwards, I'll probably cry. It's just yarn. It's just yarn. It'll be fine. But really happy. So it was really funny. I was in my office earlier and I had this stuff sitting there, and every time he'd come by, you know, I knew he could see it, but he didn't say anything because this has just been languishing right next to me in this chair in this room and everything for quite some time, and it's just a tangled mess. So I had it and I figured, you know, I'd go ahead and try to untangle those sleeves and just the knots. I mean, there's little yarn balls hanging down that I have to trim on this thing, and I thought I would do that. So he came in and he talked to me a little bit. And like I said, I knew he could see it, but he didn't say a word. He didn't acknowledge it. I could see his eyes went to it. I mean, he knows the yarn. He recognizes the yarn. He wants his sweater. We're Colorado, It is April 20th. We have winter weather advisory. Colorado. It's just how it is, right? And he would like his sweater. So I'm working on that. And just like, it was so funny, just like when you're out in the wild or something and you look and you don't want to startle the wild animal because they'll stop doing what they're doing. They're like, what? And then run away. So he didn't want to acknowledge that I had the sweater. He didn't want to do eye contact with me in the sweater to make it obvious that he saw it, because he was afraid, he, just like a wild animal, he would startle me and I'd put it away. I swear that's what it was. He's like, I'm not going to say anything. She'll stop. If I make too much of a big deal about it or I acknowledge it, she'll put it away, work on something else, because, I probably would have. And, so it was really kind of funny. It was like this dance, right? This back and forth kind of a thing, because he came in more often than he normally does, right? And I know it was because I had this in my lap, and I just thought that was so cute and so adorable. And the only thing I can think of is he didn't want to startle me. No, it's been a long time since I picked up his sweater. Beyond just pulling up the sleeves and showing them to you, it's been a long time. So I thought that was just so absolutely adorable of where he was going with that. It was cute. All right, let me see if I can show you some of the other things that I do. It's, like I said, it's unwieldy because I should have, well, I was trying to get a little farther with the connecting so it has more stability for holding it up and showing it. So you've got here, you see this thread that I've got right here? That's where I was. So I had to add all of that to both sides of the sleeves because the sleeves weren't long enough. So I put all that on there and then I attached it. And you can see I've got this here and just kind of, threaded through all the way down the sleeve. I have the same thing on the other side. And that's just a good pro tip. Every place that I looped it like that was where I did the increase, because I was going from a smaller cuff to a larger on the upper arm. But that's where I did my shaping. So putting that there helped me, especially since I sat it down for, I have no idea how long I sat the sweater down for. I wouldn't have been able to remember, do I have the exact same on each side? It was an easier way to look at and count. I've got the same amount of rows. I've got the same amount of stitches. I'm in the same place in my pattern. Those things right there, especially if you don't take, notes, you see, there's nothing on this. It's blank. So if you don't take notes, and even if you do take notes like this, these can get easily removed, taken out. I know, go to Ravelry, put it in there, right? Or do something that will jog your memory and help you, especially when you put your projects down. I know we all say, I'll remember. Yes. I think we've all been victim to the I'll remember. I've definitely been victim to the I'll remember, it'll be fine. No, you won't. No, just write it down. Okay, don't write it down. Do something like that. That will save you a lot of headache and a lot of heartache. That made it a whole lot easier for me to figure out where I was in the pattern and what I needed to do next. So that was just that, like I said, pro tip, just helping you out. It's all we can do, right? Got to help each other out. If you got any tips and tricks and stuff like that, you can share them with me too. That'd be cool. So here's my wonderful cable that will go up on both sides. I've got, let me show you this. Look at this. Look at this tangle of, this is what I was talking about. I've got all of these tangles, bits and bobs and pieces of yarn. And that's how my sleeves were tied together. That's how everything else was that I had to deal with. I could stuff an amigurumi with this, and truthfully, I probably will. Why not, right? Why not? I'll do that. So that's where I'm at. I'm pretty pleased that I was able to do that. When I did comment to hubby, I'm like, hey, you haven't said anything. And he's like, I saw it. I saw what you're working on. I did. I know he did. But he, like I said, he didn't want to startle me. That man's smart. He's smart. That's, yeah. Let me see if I can show you the actual picture of it in here. I would tell you that I would post it in the center, but there's a chance that I might not remember. It could happen. It could happen. There's other patterns in here. Oh my gosh. So I got a picture. I had somebody send, I won't say names and stuff because, you know, don't know if they want me to, but one of the subscribers made one for her husband and it was gorgeous. She did an amazing job, but very, very happy. I know my husband will be very happy to be in his too. So this is the Norse sweater. And you can see, I'm going to get it close. You can see that cable that goes all the way up the sleeve. And that is really, really a nice, pretty cable. It's not a hard cable. It really isn't. It's a predictive cable, you know, somewhat and everything. Your mileage may vary as far as how much you've done cables before. So that might help or not. And then the other one that I used in here, this is the Papa sweater. And I made that one for him also. And that one I did in green. So I have used the book twice now. Well, you know, there you go. I really like it. I'll link this one down below. I don't have any affiliates for anything, but I will link it down below. I do know that it was $29.95 is the retail. I got it discounted at Joann, but I believe it's a lot less expensive right now on Amazon. Yeah, so much so that I bought a second copy and gave it to one of my friends because, you know, they needed to have a copy too. It's just, that's how that works. I like to share. It's just how I am. So I'll have that link down below for you if you're interested. I will also have Arcane Fibre Works linked down below. You know, if you've not heard of Arcane Fibre Works in Tyler, do yourself a favor. Click and just look. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm not getting anything anyway. That's not what I'm getting at. Just look. I mean, when you find something that's amazing, you got to share it. And his dye process and his voice is so soothing. He's got shorts that'll go from the dye pot, you know, like a quickened version from the dye pot all the way to the reveal. And this is what the yarn is. And here's the inspiration photo. And then he also has a photo where it's just the swatch done up with that yarn. So you get a general idea of what the yarn could look like, you know, depending on how many stitches you use and what your pattern is. But it's really very relaxing, very soothing, so enjoyable, absolutely enjoyable. So if you're looking for that, you know, what is it, ASMR or something like that, this would fit it. It really would. It's just amazing. But I'll have all that stuff linked down below. I will go ahead and do that. I've got progress. I'm really pleased. My husband's quite happy with me right now. So I'm just going to take that as a 100% massive win for the day. With that, I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to go find my wedding ring. Yeah, because I'm feeling a little off. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.